Hello class, welcome to GSP 3201, known as Philosophy and Logic, Module 5, which contains logical terms, laws of thoughts, nature and fundamental principles of logic for 300 level students, first semester 2019/2020 academic sessions. In the School of Continuing Education's Bayero University, Kano, I, Malam Yusuf, from Department of Science, School of Continuing Education's Bayero University, Kano, will take the module. Introduction. In this part of the course, we will discuss on Logic Module 5, which comprises logical terms, laws of thoughts, nature and fundamental principles of logic. Definition. Logic can be defined as a science of reasoning. Of course, logic is a science of reasoning because it helps one to be able to distinguish between a good from a bad reason, a right from a wrong reason, etc. Definition of logical terms. There are many types of logical terms. The following are among others. Propositions. Class, what is a propositions? Propositions is a declarative statement which is either true or false, but not both, which means you cannot find a propositions which is both true and false at the same time. Examples of propositions. 1, it is raining today. I'm going to class. Okay, so this I'm going to class can be true. 1 plus 4 is equal to 6. Of course, 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. But yet, it is a proposition because it is not a true. Nigeria is part of Europe. Is false, and it is an example of propositions. There are some sentences that are not propositions. Examples. How is your friend? Okay. 2. Drive the car, please. 3. Can you see him? So, however, questions and commands are not propositions because they are not capable of being true or false. Negation symbol. This is the contradictory or denial of a propositions. It is formed in English by inviting not. So when you see not, we mean this symbol in logic. To the propositions or bringing in the phrase, like it is false that, or it is not the case that. Okay. Negation is expressed with the call symbol. This is what is called a call symbol. That is, if we have not P, meaning a negation or denial or contradictory or P. Class, I hope you are following me. Okay. We have conjunction symbol. The volume connective is correspond to the English word and. So whenever you see this symbol in logic, we mean and. The propositions whose main connective is and is called a conjunction. Such a proposition is true if and only if each proposition is true. Disjunction symbol. The volume connective or correspond to the English word or So whenever you see this symbol in logic, we mean O. The propositions whose main connective is O is called a conjunction. Such a proposition is true if and only if at least one proposition is true. So all these symbols, it is there in the lecture notes, which will be available in the website. Okay, and more examples are also there. Conditional symbol, and if dash 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 then dash dash dash. The meaning of this dash 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 is propositions. Okay, that is a propositions that expresses some kind of conditional relationship between the two parts of the propositions. For example, if P is true and Q is true, then P implies Q is also true. So we also have biconditional symbol. It is read in English word as if and only if. So whenever you see this symbol in logic, we mean if and only if. The biconditional symbol P if and only if Q, it comes out to whenever P and Q have the same truth value and false when they differ in truth value. Okay. Loss of thought in logic. Meaning of loss of thoughts. Generally, the laws are taken as the rules that guide everyone's thinking, thoughts, expressions, decisions, etc. The laws of thoughts are as follows. 1, the law of identity. 2, the law of excluded middle. And 3, the law of non-contradiction. The law of identity. The law of identity is also referred to as the principle of identity. The law of identity states that a thing is identical with itself. This is to say that a true proposition is not a false proposition. If a proposition is true, then it is true forever. Using logical notation, we can represent it as P implies P, which is true for all propositions, meaning that every such proposition is tautology. Okay. 2, law of excluded middle. This is also referred to as the principle of excluded middle. The law of excluded middle states that the proposition is either true or false. Logically, proposition cannot be neither true nor false and cannot simultaneously be both true and false. There is no middle value between truth and falsity. Logical space has only two sides, true and false, yes and no, right and left, just like two sides of a coin. The proposition stays only on one side at a time, never in the middle. Then number 3, law of non-contradiction. This is also referred to as the principle of non-contradiction or the principle of contradiction. The law of non-contradiction states that the proposition cannot be its own negation. That is, the proposition is to be true and false at the same time, in the same context. So for that same reason, it is neither true nor false, and therefore it is not a proposition in logic. In other words, no propositions in logic is both true and false. Class, I hope you are following me, and this is the end of the presentation in the slides. And the lecture notes will be available in the website. So you can visit the website and download the lecture notes so you can be able to see more details on logic model 5. Thank you for listening.